Welcome to Real Talk, Real Wellness with Alicia. I'm Alicia, a context-led women's holistic wellness practitioner, and this is where we get real about what it truly takes to feel well, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And now, before I get into today's topic, I just want to say I've been working with women for a long time, in so many different capacities as a wellness practitioner, in health spaces, in empowerment spaces. And in all that time, one thing has never changed. Women are incredible. The depth, the resilience, the capacity to hold so much and still keep showing up. I never get tired of being in this space. Never. And we are in March, Women's Month. And now, personally, I think every single month is a Women's Month. Every single one. But the world, well, at least in the UK, the world has given us March. So let's use it, and let's use it well. And I thought about what I wanted to bring to you this month, what felt important, what felt real. And what came up for me this month was relationships, specifically our love relationships, our intimate, non-platonic, this person has my heart type of relationship, because I think it's one of the most significant and honestly one of the most underexplored parts of women's wellness. And we are going to get into it today. Now, here's why relationships belong in the wellness conversation. The way I work with women is through what I call the precision context model. And this is my own model. This is the lens I use. At the center of everything is the woman herself. That's layer one of the context model, the precision context model. Layer two is her physiological and biological responses. What is her body actually doing? What is she experiencing physically? And layer three is context. Everything outside of her life, her relationships, her environment, what she's living inside of every single day, her belief systems, her culture. That's everything. What's been passed down from ancestors to her. That's everything. That's her context. And the layer four, that's the wellness domain. That's where we offer support. That's where we bring the tools in, the modalities, the wellness modalities, nutrition, sleep, movement, stress support, care, collaboration, referrals where needed, and sometimes even things like DNA testing, looking at maybe how her body detoxifies estrogen. Let's say how efficient it is in detoxifying estrogen. That's an example of what I mean when I say testing, DNA testing, how she responds to things on a cellular level. The precision in the model is about getting specific, because one size, as we know when it comes to health and wellness, does not fit all. So when I say When I say relationships are a part of wellness, I mean that literally, because the context, layer 3 of the model, connects directly to what's happening to her body, layer 2. You cannot separate them. So the context layer of this model impacts the layer 2, the biological, the physiological responses. Okay, you cannot separate them. So what does your relationship have to do with wellness? Everything. Honestly, everything. A woman is not separate from her life. She is in it, fully in it, every single day in it. And one of the most significant parts of that life for so many women is who she shares that life with. Now, here's the thing. Most of us don't enter relationships thinking about wellness. We enter with feeling, or we enter with connection, we enter with the energy, the excitement of meeting someone, and something just clicks. We enter with hope, and that's beautiful. I love that. It's beautiful, the possibility, of the relationship. And, I'm not saying any of that is wrong. But what we don't always pause to maybe consider is, this person is going to have an impact on me, and a real one, not just emotionally in the obvious, way, but on a mental state, on my physical state, on my energy, on how I experience my day-to-day life. And a lot of the time we don't see that until we're already in it, submerged in it, sort of swimming around in this relationship. And we don't always, that doesn't always hit us until something starts to change or shift. You start to carry something you didn't used to carry. Your body feels a little different. Your thoughts feel different. Your sense of self feels slightly off. And then one day it sort of, hits. Oh, this person, this relationship is affecting me. When someone comes into your life in that way, they don't stay on the outside of you, and your existence. They move in, into your space, into your time, into your routines, into your emotional world. And once that happens, there is influence. Constant, ongoing influence. And that is not a small thing. And then there's another layer to this, one that I think we need to talk about more openly. Intimacy, physical intimacy. When a woman allows a man to be intimate with her, when she allows him to enter her body, that is no casual act, even when we treat it casually, even when the world treats it casually. Biologically, physiologically, that is a man entering a woman's space, her body, her chemistry. We all know how babies come, we all know they come this way. And if that alone doesn't tell you how significant that act is, I don't know what will. That's massive and huge. But even beyond that, even outside of conception, the physical reality of intimacy means that what he carries, she can absorb. His health, his energy, the state of his body, all of that comes into contact with her. And this is why wellness in a relationship is not just about one person, it's about both of you. He needs to be well too. He needs to be taking care of himself physically, psychologically, emotionally, because when two people come together in that way, you are quite literally one. And for the woman especially, because she is the one receiving, the weight of that act, the depth of that act is something that deserves respect from him, and honestly from her too. It's a great act to allow someone into your body. It is a great act to be trusted with someone's body. We've normalized it to the point where sometimes we forget that it actually is. It's an important act, but your body hasn't forgotten. Your biology hasn't forgotten. So when we talk about choosing a partner, I think there's a deeper layer that women deserve to sort of ponder on and explore beyond attraction and chemistry, beyond, what looks great on paper. The real question is, what is it actually like to be with this person over time? What happens to me in their presence? What do I become when I'm around them? How does my body actually feel? Because your body is always responding, always. You don't have to intellectually analyze everything. Your system is already registering what's going on, what's happening. You can feel when something settles you. You can feel when something unsettles you, even if you can't quite sort of put your finger on why. You can feel ease, and you can feel that slight tension that sits underneath things when something isn't quite right. Those feelings, that is not you being sensitive or overthinking or being dramatic. That's information that you are receiving. And I think a lot of women override that information, especially when everything on the outside looks fine, especially when there's, history, when there's love and attachment and years of life together. We feel something and we talk ourselves out of it. We feel something and we stay. We feel something and we keep trying to make it work. And I understand that. I really do. But the body keeps responding day after day. And over time, that response becomes your lived experience. It becomes part of how you feel in yourself. There's one more thing I want to touch on, and that's familiarity. I have difficulty saying that word, so please don't mock me. There's a lot of us that don't always choose from a place of full awareness. Sometimes we choose what feels known, what feels like something we've seen before, or something that we recognize, even when what we recognize isn't actually serving us. The body recognizes it, so it feels normal, it feels comfortable, and something can feel completely familiar and still be affecting you negatively, in ways you haven't fully looked at in totality yet. And that, is the tricky part. This is why I come back to context every single time. When I work with women, I'm looking at the whole picture. What surrounds her, what she returns to every day, what she's absorbing, what she's adapting to, who she's interacting with, how that interaction is making her feel, and how that is impacting her, layer 2, her physiology and her biology. Because all of that shapes how a woman feels within herself. All of it counts. All of that is rooted in her wellness. So, I want to leave you with something to meditate on this week. The relationships you are in right now, or the kind of relationship you're calling into your life, what is it adding to you? And what is it asking your body to carry? Not what it could be, not what it looks like from the outside, what it actually is right now. Because your body already knows the answer. It's been trying to tell you. Okay? Okay, so that's today's episode. I hope you enjoy, and if this episode resonates with you and you want to share it with someone, please do. Please do. And if you have any thoughts, come and find me. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, take care of yourself. Real talk, real wellness, always.